Okay, picture this, right? You have a 200-year-old oak tree in Bishop's Court. This tree has stood for generations, seen it all. But then it dies. And it doesn't die naturally. It was murdered.
Murdered.
Yeah, murdered. Someone drilled 47 holes into it, hidden holes, and filled them with herbicide.
Wow. I mean, that's sinister.
It is. It's like something straight out of a crime thriller, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not an isolated incident. It's part of a bigger story that we're calling Cape Town's Tree Murder Files.
Tree murder files. It's a disturbing thought that something as majestic and permanent as a tree can be targeted like this.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive. We're going deep into this phenomenon. We'll look at the methods, the evidence, and what you as a property owner in Cape Town need to know.
I think that's really important, especially, for those of us who have trees on our property, we need to be aware of this.
Absolutely. So our mission here is to give you the knowledge, arm you with information so you can recognize the signs of tree poisoning, understand the evidence, and the impact it can have. Let's start with the basics. How is a tree murdered? What are the methods these tree assassins are using?
Well, it's not as simple as, taking axe to it. These methods are often quite sophisticated, and in some cases, downright ingenious. Like, take the nail trick, for example.
The nail trick.
Yeah, it's deceptively simple. They hammer copper nails into the trunk of the tree.
Copper nails, like just regular nails.
Yeah, but copper is the key. Over time, the copper poisons the tree. It weakens it and eventually kills it.
That's incredible. I mean, who would think something so small could take down something so large?
Right. But there are even more sinister methods, like midnight root injections.
Midnight root injections.
Yeah. They sneakily inject toxins directly into the root system. It's underhanded and very effective.
Sounds like something out of a spy movie.
Right. And by the time the tree shows any signs of distress, the damage is often too far gone. There's also bark girdling.
Bark girdling.
Basically, they remove a strip of bark that goes all the way around the trunk. The bark is essential for transporting nutrients, so when it's removed, the tree is essentially starved.
So are they just peeling off the bark?
Not exactly. They
Yeah.
do it in a way that can make it look like natural damage, like storm damage.
That's clever. And devious. So they're covering their tracks.
Precisely. And then there's the fertilizer mix scam.
A fertilizer scam. How does that work?
Well, it's all about deception. They spread what looks like regular fertilizer around the tree, but it's actually laced with toxins.
So it's like poisoning disguised as care.
Exactly. It's a very insidious method.
Wow, it's incredible. But how do we know for sure if a tree has been poisoned? Isn't it possible it just died from natural causes?
That's where the science comes in. Forensic arborists are key in these cases. They analyze soil samples from around the tree.
Like they're looking for clues at a crime scene.
Exactly. They use high-tech tools, even portable mass spectrometers, to analyze the soil.
A mass spectrometer sounds pretty serious. So what are they looking for specifically?
Well, they look for glyphosate residue, which is a common herbicide. They also check for abnormal pH levels in the soil. And one of the most damning pieces of evidence is the presence of heavy metals.
Heavy metals.
Yeah, these are often found in herbicides and pesticides. And if they're present in unusual amounts, that's a red flag.
So this isn't just some, interesting science experiment. This evidence can be used in court.
Absolutely. This forensic evidence can be used to prove deliberate poisoning.
It's like solving a real-life murder mystery.
It is, in a way.
You mentioned earlier that you have a story about a homeowner in Constantia who actually caught their neighbor poisoning a tree.
Yes. This homeowner was worried about their tree, and they installed a security camera. Guess what they caught?
The neighbor in the act.
Right in the act, at 3 in the morning, pouring something at the base of the tree.
No way. And did they find out what the poison was?
Lab analysis identified it as tibuthuron. It's a powerful herbicide.
And what happened to the neighbor? I mean, were there any consequences?
Well, they faced a potential fine of 250,000 rand.
250,000 rand for poisoning a tree.
That's right. It shows how seriously these offenses are taken.
Wow. That's quite a deterrent. But let's talk about something a little different. I see all these so-called cures for sick plants online, miracle cures. You actually investigated one of them, something about using activated charcoal.
Yes, there's this idea floating around that activated charcoal can absorb toxins in the soil and save a poisoned tree.
And did it work?
We tested it, applied it to a poisoned tree, monitored it for 30 days.
Yeah.
No luck. The tree stayed dead. It's a reminder that not everything you read online is true. And when it comes to serious matters like this, it's best to consult with experts.
Absolutely. DIY solutions may seem appealing, but they don't always work. Speaking of experts, you also mentioned a case where forensic evidence helped win a legal battle, the case in Newlands.
Right, that was an interesting one. The homeowner sued and was awarded 1.8 million rand in damages.
1.8 million rand. That's more than just replacing the tree, isn't it?
No, it definitely takes into account other factors like property value decrease and emotional distress. But what's really fascinating is the evidence they used.
Oh, tell me more about that.
They used dendrochronology, that's tree ring analysis, to determine when the poisoning happened. They also had time-stamped drone footage, visual evidence.
Drone footage. Wow.
And get this, they even used WhatsApp messages as evidence.
WhatsApp messages, like someone admitting to the crime.
Basically, yeah. It goes to show that anything can be evidence in these cases.
It's like a real-life CSI episode, but with trees. So we've seen the methods, the evidence, and the legal implications. It's clear this is a serious issue.
Absolutely. And for our listeners who might be worried about trees on their property, we have a special offer.
That's right. If you have any concerns, send us photos of your trees to treecsi@yourdomain.com. We'll give you a free assessment.
And if further investigation is needed, we can refer you to certified labs for testing.
It's a limited time offer, so don't wait. No, thinking about all this, it really makes you wonder. What drives someone to deliberately harm a tree? Is it spite? Revenge? A misguided sense of control?
It's a question worth pondering. These cases reveal something deeper about our relationship with nature and how easily those relationships can turn toxic.
Food for thought indeed.